You must have been happy for De Zerbi and, his little celebrations and his big smile and everything.
Yeah, well, De Zerbi's reached this stage, I think, especially domestically in Italy, where it's weird. He's seen as, because he got so much good press for what he did in Sassuolo, right?
Yeah.
And then, people don't believe this because people think time never changes anywhere and people stay the same forever. But, even when Sassuolo were kind of up and down and stuff, there was a sense, he got a ton of praise from people like, oh, look, De Zerbi's so good. And then you had the backlash from people say like, well, why is he so good if Sassuolo are 10th or whatever in the table, right? And then, he'd been linked with a couple bigger teams in Italy, and then it didn't happen. And some people, there's a lot of De Zerbi loyalists out there who came out and said, well, he missed out on these big jobs in Italy because people are still too conservative, they don't trust, and De Zerbi's team learn. And so then people started making fun of them. People said, oh, look, it's almost like people came out and said, oh, well, De Zerbi never loses, he either wins or he learns, ha ha ha, stupid things like that, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously he goes to Shakhtar and, achieves what he achieved there with the ups and downs and putting himself way out of his comfort zone. So I'm kind of happy that this stuff is working, not just in Italy. And I do think it's working. And I do think, as you know, that there is a reason most top teams in Europe play proactive football. It doesn't mean you have to pass it around, whichever way you're going to do it, whether you're going to press high, whether you're going to go through possession. But and he brings some really interesting things. I mean, the like you said, the box and midfield and whatever. It's different. So yeah, I was happy. Those are big shoes to fill with Graham Potter, because remember, it's not just Graham Potter. It's the whole sort of, he had his guy who went with him. It was also Brighton lost Dan Ashworth, obviously, but this was before. But, it's hard for a team.
Yeah.
The thing about Brighton is we've all praised them for their signings year after year and look, they get value signings and whatever. But there's not a lot of money there. They don't pay a lot of money. They don't have a big wage bill.
No.
And when you have a more limited wage bill, you can look for the value signings. If your value signing, doesn't work out. I remember. Do you remember Neeskens Cabano?
Yeah, of course. At Fulham, Paris born and bred.
Okay, well, Paris born and bred, great name.
Yeah.
But when this guy was 19, people thinking, oh, next big thing, value signing, all these analytics. I
saw him breaking through in Paris, and we thought.
And then obviously his career stalled.
Yeah.
Right. He did not become, whatever. And now he's getting back on track or whatever.
Yeah.
Brighton, teams like Brighton, like Brentford, who operate in that sphere, are going to have a lot of signings like that, where, the upside's there, he's promising, but maybe it just doesn't happen, So I think he's winning people over with the way he plays and the way he operates. And I think, in terms of individuals, I know Trossard somehow gets his goals all the time.
Yeah,
I think Caicedo's a great player.
Yeah.
I think defensively with some of the defenders he inherited, there is still a solid base, and but ultimately, the talent level at Brighton is what it is, and it worked under Potter, and De Zerbi has to make it work for him.
Yeah. No, I was glad to see Mitoma started, for example, because I think he's got really great potential. Trossard, I'm a big fan, I have to say, and the fact that he keeps scoring against the big teams, even if you lose at City, but he's still there, he scores goals. The hat-trick obviously at Liverpool, but now everybody can score against Liverpool, so that doesn't mean as much. But I just think that now what I want to see from De Zerbi is I want those players to keep improving individually. I think Potter improved them, and I think we've said many times, you judge a manager by the trophies that he wins, of course, and I guess the style of football that he plays, but also how much he improved his players individually.
Yeah, and I would add, judge him relative to the resources that he has, right?
Yeah, completely.
It's not just about winning trophies. It is, what is your starting point?
Yeah.
I think he was helped, too, by the fact that Brighton, look, it's not like Brighton are the kind of club that are going to panic, but he already had a nice cushion because of how Potter started the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.